Hello, everyone. This is your friend, Dr. Victor Hugo Manriquez, chicken farmer to professor. Welcome to the Trucha Camp podcast. The topic is your Trucha Camp experience and your life journey. We have our guest here, Estevan González.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. So, Estevan, you're at Fresno Pacific University, right?
Yeah. So.
Why don't you tell us a little bit of how you ended up here?
Okay. So I'm from Sanger, California, 20 minutes east of Fresno. Small little town. Went to elementary Sanger Academy Charter School, Sanger High. Graduated there and came over here to Fresno Pacific. I'm studying kinesiology for physical therapy.
Nice.
And I came here on the premise of doing track and field. I got recruited to come here, and that's like how I pretty much got.
What was your journey? I mean, you started elementary school and there was this Trucha Camp program, right? And well, let's just explore, have a little plática, Trucha Camp plática. So, what's your recollection? What do you remember about Trucha Camp?
So Trucha Camp, like honestly, something that's dear to my heart. Like in all honesty, like I have this group of friends that are from like Sanger Academy that we still talk to today. This is like one of my closest friend groups, and so a lot of us remember Trucha Camp and Mr. Manriquez and like Capture the Trucha Fish. Like when we think of Trucha Camp, we think of Capture the Trucha Fish or Trucha, like GRT, like or Agape Love, stuff like that. So the biggest things I took away from Trucha Camp was how fun it was as a kid and how we associated everything with Trucha. Like it was very catchy as a kid. It's super catchy, right? So that's the best part about it. It's catchy, and so it plants this seed in you to be good, right?
Yeah.
Do what's good, what's right, and what's true.
Dude, that's our Trucha code of ethics.
Good, right, and true, and you got to love everybody as yourself, right? Agape love.
Right. That's right.
And so that's something that was embedded to me as a child, right? And so when you're developing as a kid, a lot of these things like the way you think, your psychodynamics and stuff, is based off your childhood. And so to me, a lot of my integrity is based on what I think Trucha Camp taught me, right?
Yeah.
And so this premise of agape love, GRT, like it really stuck with me throughout private school. And once I got to high school, like it still stuck with me, right? And so doing the right thing, not cheating, and really just giving good effort helped me in school. And so once you get to high school where you really need to try, like with these AP courses or these college courses.
So you took some advanced placement
classes.
For
sure. Yeah. Like I took some hard courses in high school. And so once I got to that point, I didn't lack the critical thinking skills to get through those classes, because that's what you need, especially if you want to get through it properly and if you want to pass the AP test, right?
Right.
And so that's the hard part, is passing the AP test, but you got to have some critical thinking and some hard work to get there, because you can't cheat your way through and be able to get to that point. And that's like one thing I frown upon, is that when people are gifted but they lack the effort to be able to like put that critical thinking to use and be able to actually learn from the class. Instead they use AI or like they cheat off each other. And it's just like I hold myself to a good integrity, which I think is embedded from Trucha, or do what's good, right, and true, right? That's like the foundation. And so based on that foundation, like you got to do the.
Do you think Trucha Camp, the training, the principles that you learned, did you think did it impact you as any situation with leadership?
Yeah. So growing up, I started doing track like third grade and a couple other sports. And so that's where I found a lot of my leadership. And so even in Trucha Camp, like let's say we're playing Capture the Trucha Fish or some other game, right? Like you have your leaders on the team, like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And so throughout physical education and like when you're playing these games, I think that you gain a like idea of leadership and guidance even amongst the kids. Like it's obviously it's a game, but it's like it can be much more than that. Like that's the first indication of leadership. And so I naturally became a leader, like in most aspects, like whether it's a classroom or on the track, right? And so I could attribute that to Trucha Camp, where like in PE you're playing all these games, and that's where you really find this model of leadership, especially for an athlete who like thrives in sports, right? And so that can transfer to the classroom or any aspect of life, work, or anything, right? And so being a leader is great because someone has to do it, right?
Like throughout your experience here, throughout your years, did you in public school, did you have any program that you could remember that focused on things that you learned in Trucha Camp? You mentioned the good, right, true. You mentioned the agape love, the love of respect.
Um, no, I would say there's no like you can't really replicate that in high school because everything's so programmed. Like everything's like you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. There's not as much heart in it that I see. No, like in terms of like programs, maybe um, FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes,
Okay.
is stuff where you see a lot of integrity, a lot. But in my classes and things like that, I wouldn't really see that all that much. Maybe on the team for track,
Yeah.
we take a big part of pride. Like we take a lot of pride, or not pride, but like passion to the sport,
Yeah.
right?
Like
Pride
pride,
for the
like being,
school, yeah.
like valuing, like
Value in the
valuing
school,
being part
value
of
as a Apache or
yeah.
whatever. So
That was the
that's
Sangre
yeah,
Apache pride,
Apache
right?
pride, yeah,
One
exactly.
tribe.
One tribe, so we're
Yeah.
together, unified, and so that's where I'd see similarities with like
Yeah.
heart of the school or heart of Trucha camp. That's where I kind of saw the similarity, but in high school it's much different than what you're learning in Trucha camp, right?
Okay. So yeah. So did you? How about culturally? Like what? What have you found out? I mean, have you even heard the word trucha before? Besides the at school with me?
No, I think Trucha camp's exclusive, not exclusive, but like it's special in that way that
Like
like
unique
that's
as in
unique,
exclusive?
unique. Yeah, not exclusive, but unique, right? So like you won't really hear that anywhere else. The idea of GRT Trucha camp, it's super like when I talk about it like Trucha camp, like GRT, like all my friends, we all like joke about not joke about it, but we like reminisce about it or bring it up a lot. Even to this day, we bring it up. We say Jeep, what a Jeep all the time. Whenever we're doing something like whenever they're doing something wrong or anything like that, we say, hey, don't hit the panic button. Like, what are you doing?
Where do these things come from?
It's just like we have a lot of inside jokes, and so that just ends up as one of them, like Jeep, what a Jeep. And so
So these were sounds that you heard in Trucha camp.
right, like you hear it a lot. Like I can go to any person that I knew in elementary, I'd be like, and they would know, like, or I could be like, don't hit the panic button. Like it's just always funny, always nice to reminisce about it. And I think just by when I was little, like I didn't think of it as a mentor, but like you guided um our character, and so character is the big to coach in the future or whenever I'm guiding people through physical therapy or anything like that. Like I want to bring up the idea of um like ethical code and like what it means to be truthful, have integrity, and
Yeah.
so like the idea of having integrity, I think is built with GRT,
Yes.
Trucha, agape love. Like integrity is a good foundation, and so that's something I take away to bring to others. Not only having that, it's like iron sharpens iron, right?
Yes.
And then you have
Right.
these athletes who are all better than you, all as good or better than you. When I got here, I went from like the fastest on my team to one of the slowest guys, and then I had to work my way up, right? And so we're in the midst of working our way up right now.
Right.
So
Right.
every day you have these guys who are just as good or better than you, and so it really, really pushes. Like coming here, I've learned more about critical thinking and integrity than I ever have, right?
Right.
No, well, yes and no.
They get a
Like
chance
I'm
to.
learning more about it now,
Mhm.
but I still have that foundation of it from Trucha camp, right? Like that's that like you plant the seed and you let it grow. And so now that I'm here in college, I can really learn about what it means to critical think, like what it means to like, especially when you're contemplating all these like life decisions and like these long term like issues that you have to think of, right?
Right.
And so when you think about your purpose and all this stuff, like this is something I've been meditating or thinking on, like purpose.
Okay. So one more point here before we go or to conclude. Um, is there any experiences you believe in Trucha camp that in the program that helped you that you'd like to share?
Yeah, this idea of GRT was the first time I ever heard anything like not of how to be a good person, but like what integrity means, right? And so you can
Right.
talk about do this, you be a good person, but I feel like integrity and truth is different because It's how to be your full self and how to be the best you can be. I had like this small feeling in my heart, right?
Yeah.
That I feel like I was not destined for more, but I feel like I needed purpose. And
Okay.
something I lacked like for a long time was purpose. And so going to high school, I was like what am I doing? Like if I'm not like if I'm just gonna live my life and there'd be nothing after, like what's the point? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
So
this
you feel like your identity, like who I am,
yeah,
like what, not just who, but what.
yeah.
The what am I doing here?
What am I
Right?
doing here? Exactly. And so I'm just like,
You felt like you were seeking this, but you hadn't verbalized it.
yeah, exactly.
And finally, someone was like, "Hey,
Exactly.
there's another reason for you here.
Yeah.
Hit the trucha button."
Yeah. Coming here, like I really like dove into my faith
Good.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like we have chapel, FCA, fellowship. Like these are all programs. Like Federation of Christian Athletes, fellowship is a guys men's group,
Mm-hmm.
and we have our chapel, which is our like our church service here on Wednesdays, right?
Right.
And so like with everything being involved in the word, I really saw like what it means. I think that Trucha camp gave me the base foundation I needed to be able to apply these critical thinking and this truth and virtue, ethics, all this stuff to be able to connect it to here, right? This base model of having a good character helped me now, I think, dive into my Christianity and diving into my faith and what my purpose really is, right? It's all about purpose and
awesome.
finding reason. And so I think that those two have a good connection, especially.
Well, what do you think other places where there's children education would benefit from having a Trucha camp program?
Yeah, I 100% believe so. Like
how and why is that?
I think that what you gain, like the model and character I gained from Trucha camp, cannot be replicated, right? It's something so unique that, like, if I were to tell other people, it'd be like, no, we didn't have that. We just had PE. We just had PE. Like they just played football and basketball, right? But we had Trucha camp.
What's the difference between those?
Character and heart, I think, is the difference.
Character and heart.
Character and heart.
That's good
right?
way to explain.
So character and heart and the catchiness of Trucha camp will stick with you, I think, like for as long as you live, right? For me, it stuck with me, like the idea, like the character I developed from this Trucha camp, like the memories I have from Trucha camp, like I will always remember, right?
That's beautiful. It's with Trucha camp with children, and hearing you now as an adult.
Yeah,
it's like, well, Trucha camp, man, it hit me deep, and it's still kind of with me, and it's forming your spiritual fitness, and even your character and who you are with integrity. Sometimes as a teacher, you never even really get a chance to see that.
Yeah.
You plant seeds.
So me and him talk about Trucha camp a lot. I told him like what I learned. We'd have good conversations about it, like what I learned from it and how I'm telling him like this stuff is like great. Like this is a great program, how you teach virtue and how you like me and Malachi, we talk about just how great it is that it's here and that it's so different than everything else. And I was telling he wants to be a PE teacher, and so I was telling him like if you're gonna do it, you got to do it like that, right?
Trucha for life.
Yeah, and so Trucha camp can expand and be passed on, right?
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. And when someone retrospects and looks back at their life, they're like, what footprint is being left for others to follow? What bridges were built for others to follow? Where potentially there's a cliff, how do we create bridges to access different areas? And I was sharing with her, I said, with the podcast and all the TikTok and all that, my goal is not fame or money. My goal is leave a bridge for others to emulate something similar.
Right.
And hopefully add a whole lot more stuff on there.
Right, it's expanded, yeah.
So this is just a template for others to follow. And said my focus are my students and potentially my kids when they grow up and stuff. If they so choose to.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So thank you, Estevan, for coming out. Maybe we could finish with a clap, 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 Trucha for life. Is that cool?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, ready? 3 claps, Trucha for life.
All right.
Clap, clap, clap,
Trucha
Trucha for life. Thank you.